no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Let's get into this Raiders Rumors mailbag. First question's coming in from Armando Acevedo. Would you rather have Rodgers or Watson for the next 3 years? You must pick one. For the next 3 years and 3 years only, give me Aaron Rodgers for the simple fact of the Raiders still need to be able to build around their defense because defense is still the major need. If you have Deshaun Watson, if you have Aaron Rodgers, and you don't change anything on the defense, you're still not going to win football games. But give me Aaron Rodgers on an average about $24.3 million, who probably is actually still better than Watson right now. He's going to win the MVP. But, I mean, if you got to go beyond that 3 years, it's Deshaun Watson because he's my second top. He's probably the number 2 best quarterback in the National Football League under the age of 25, behind only Patrick Mahomes. All right, what up, Lord? I won't say Xemnas. We'd be wasting Aaron's time here, and Matt is not better than Carr. We might as well just go on defense again during free agency, draft a guard/offensive tackle. So, yeah, Matthew Stafford definitely not better than Derek Carr. I don't really care how you shake it out. In terms of wasting Aaron's time, I don't really like that mindset because that just simply means that you don't think the Raiders can possibly be in win-now mode. This was a 6-3 football team. Sure, it was an awful collapse, but you like to still be able to believe that they can make the playoffs. And then in terms of offensive tackle, offensive guard, I do think that you move on from Richie Incognito. It depends what you do with Trent Brown. I'm a believer that they move on from him, but there are some other options. Taylor Motton, he's the right tackle that I want the most in free agency. Aronson, hey Mitch, would you rather sign or draft a safety? I think it's a little bit of both. If I can get a safety in round 2, round 3, like the kid from TCU, Javon Holland would be another example, or Darius Washington, the other safety from TCU is a guy that I like a lot. I mean, I did a mock draft. I had Paris Ford from Pittsburgh. I got him in round 6. I'll take that every day of the week. But not only that, the amount of talent in free agency at safety, there's like legit 10 guys that I'd be really happy if the Raiders went out and got. So you try to figure out who's the best available. And if you're watching this live, we're about to get into it in a little bit here. So go ahead, hit that big red button that says subscribe if you want free Raiders videos just like this one. I'm never going to make you guys pay for subscriptions. I know there's a lot of other companies out there like, oh, it's only $2 a month to watch my stuff or read my articles, or only $10 to do this. That's not what I'm about. I'm about the nation. The show is for y'all. And even though 2020 was a crazy year, I hope 2021 is a crazier year in terms of this show growing, us building chemistries. And if you guys want to be able to watch more stuff, hit the big red button that says subscribe and turn on those noties. All right, this is a fun question from Jaime Perez. Get a pick. Bring back Karl Joseph. Okay. Karl Joseph is obviously going to be a free agent here. I was hoping that the Raiders ended up bringing him back, but if you all remember, they decided to decline his 5th-year option. He hit free agency and ended up going to the Cleveland Browns. He actually had a pretty solid year in 2019, didn't have that good of a year in 2020, so this is the question I'll ask y'all. And you know what? I'm going to make it the pinned comment on today's mailbag. Should the Raiders sign Karl Joseph? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to go down in the comment section while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break and let me know. Y for yes, or type N for no, should the Raiders sign Karl Joseph. All right, we got Christopher. What up? Mitch, chances the Raiders bring back Incognito. I'll say one Chucky head. You got to figure out what's going on with his Achilles. I understand that they signed him to a 2-year deal last year, but you can cut Incognito, save $6.5 million. He is an unbelievable offensive guard when healthy, especially in the running game. I think when you look at Josh Jacobs' stats, well, the biggest reason why I think he went from 4.8 to 3.8 yards per carry, he didn't have Richie Incognito. And that offensive line lost some toughness. So in terms of Incognito, I'm going to go with no because I'm hoping Denzel Good also ends up coming back. All right, what up, Vincent? What's the chance we keep Marcus Mariota this season? Probably, again, one chalky head. I personally wouldn't do it. I know John Gruden likes him a lot, but in terms of keeping a backup quarterback for $10 million doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't really think that there's another NFL team alive that would trade for him because nobody's going to pay Mariota $10 million. Did he have one good game? Yes, he did. However, I think if you would actually see teams be able to scheme for him for the entire season, it would be a lot different. Plus, I don't believe that he can stay healthy for all 16 games. So, Vincent, appreciate your question. I know Mariota's been a very, very popular topic. All right, we're going to keep it going here. Andre, how would you feel if the Raiders traded Mariota and a third-round pick for a first-round pick? Do it in a heartbeat. Nobody's ever going to do that. So, I'd be surprised if the Raiders honestly could get anything for Mariota. Nobody's going to pay him. Nobody. Nobody wants him for $10 million. So, Andre, I appreciate the question, but it's not going to happen, my man. All right, Martin, what up? Greetings from Germany. Vegatus Deer, do you think the Raiders will trade up in the draft or trade down for more picks? So this is a great question. I am always team trade down personally, and if you can be the Raiders and trade down at pick 17, I would 100% do it. First round's tricky to me. There are so many players in round 2 that I absolutely love, and if you could be a team, I don't know, that wants a quarterback and the Raiders are sitting there at 17, if you could get, let's say, another, I don't know, late first-round pick, another second-round pick right before pick 48, I would rather that instead of going out and getting a guy at 17 because the amount of holes this team has on defense, the more picks we can get, the better. All right, y'all, if you guys like what you're watching right now, the Raiders Report Mailbag, guess what? We do this twice a week on our Chat Sports YouTube channel. So we go live every single Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Obviously, we don't talk about just Raiders. We talk about all things NFL. But if you want to have these interactions, if you want to have your questions answered on the show, if you just like watching live shows about sports, we're the channels for you here. So go ahead and subscribe. The link is below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Please check it out. We have new videos coming out literally every 3 hours around the NFL, NBA, all that good stuff. Seriously, it helps me out a lot, helps out the company a lot. So subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, we got a super chat coming in from Dre Parker that just says DeMar Hamlin. I'm going to say a day 3 safety. I'll look into him a little bit more, but for me to honestly sit here and tell you I know a lot about him, I'd be lying to you, but I think he ends up getting drafted 5th, 6th, 7th round. All right, what up, Adrian? With Zay leaving, do we draft or sign a replacement for him? The reason why I'm going to say no is because if you're looking for a Zay Jones replacement, you're not looking in the right places. Zay Jones was never a pick that, or never a trade that really went the right way for the Raiders. He's probably like the 5th, 6th best receiver on the team. You want a Zay Jones replacement? The Raiders, just as I'm making this show live on Tuesday, they're bringing back Keelan Doss to a future contract. That's your Zay Jones replacement. You need an actual number 1 receiver. You need somebody else that can be more of a complement in free agency. I mean, you want a cheaper option, Curtis Samuel, but if I'm going to go for a receiver, I'm going to go big or go home. Give me Allen Robinson. So if you guys want to get your questions on the show, you got to use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get your questions answered. We got 900 people watching us live. Don't wait in line. Seriously, go Super Chat and use hashtag Raiders. Obviously, with the amount of questions we get coming in, I understand I can't get to all of them. And sure, I feel bad, but I promise you, if anybody who's followed me on IG before, I will get to your questions. DM me them if I can't get to them during our live shows. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, this one's coming in from Omni Rodney. Okay, bring Melvin Ingram in on a 1-year prove-it deal. I do actually like this move a lot because Melvin Ingram, when healthy, is actually one of the best edge rushers in football. Not too long ago, he had close to, 17 sacks or something absolutely ridiculous. He knows the Gus Bradley system. He knows what it takes to be a successful edge rusher, linebacker. So if I get him for a 1-year prove-it deal for $10, $11 million, yeah, I would do that. Now, all the time, and any time I ask y'all, who should the Raiders go out and get at defensive tackle, it's always the same answer. Leonard Williams. I love Leonard Williams. He is the number 1 guy on my list in terms of defensive tackles. And when you look at all the free agents in general, he's in my top 2. But I'm going to make a rule here. You can't say Leonard Williams. So go down in the comments section. Let me know. Give me a defensive tackle the Raiders should bring in that's not named Leonard Williams. I obviously know all y'all want Leonard Williams, but give me another name, okay? Other names to think about. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris. Those are probably my top 2. I don't really want Ndamukong Suh. I'm sorry. I just think he's a little bit washed up at this point. This one's coming in from Eduardo Gonzalez. What do you think about Tanner Muse? I think it was a failed experiment, unfortunately. I understand Tanner was a fun prospect coming out of Clemson, but I never would have drafted him in round 3. He was more of a round 5, round 6 prospect for me. He really struggled in training camp and really struggled in the offseason. He battled a lot of injuries. They're going to try to convert him to a linebacker. We'll see if it ends up working, but I would be lying to you to say that I think that it is going to work. And I think the Raiders need to start looking at players that, instead of trying to make projects out of everyone, draft people that are good and know certain positions. No offense to Tanner, I just don't see it happening. Let's go to the Guardian Angel. Should the Raiders go out and trade for Khalil Mack? I actually already did a video on this, the Guardian Angel, and it's like a 12-minute video that explains it way more in depth. All you got to do, go on YouTube, search Raiders trade for Khalil Mack, type in Raiders Report. Any question you guys ever have, I probably already made a video about it. So seriously, go check it out. It's your boy Manny. Appreciate the super. Sorry, Mitch, but think we go after the coach grandmother from Dazed and Confused grandmother, 6'3", 240 pounds. Sorry, had to. I don't know what you're referring to, but if my grandmother could run a 440, what do you mean? I don't get it. Sorry. Sam's telling me, Bruce Sam saying it's a movie. I don't know what the movie is. Never seen it, Dazed Confused. If you guys see Dazed Confused, let me know. Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Dude. I don't know. I don't like Tom Brady. I don't really want him to get number 7, but I also don't really want the Chiefs to win another either. I've actually been thinking about doing a watch party where we just rip on both teams. If that sounds interesting to y'all, like the video. Maybe I don't have to root for anyone. I just want to watch a good game. It's a close game. And if I can have a few drinks with some of my friends, that's even better. I pour milk before my cereal. I don't know who this guy is, but he's always on the show. If the FBI is watching, you need to find this gentleman or woman and figure out what they're doing because this is some sketchy shit. Do you think we will draft running back Trey Sermon? So running back from Ohio State. He used to play at Oklahoma, but I don't know if the Raiders ultimately do take another running back. We'll see what happens with Devontae Booker if they end up bringing him back. I think if the Raiders do make a move for running back, I would probably rather do it on day 3 because you still have Josh Jacobs, who's your number 1 dude. But Sermon, for me, he's probably going to get taken in round 3. Maybe with the injury that he suffered in the national championship game, he goes round 4, which I'd be a little bit more intrigued by. But I'm going to say no, it doesn't happen. Another super chat coming in from Brent. How many Chucky heads that Ruggs and Abram will break out next year? I got to give it 1. I mean, Ruggs was a major disappointment. I don't think they fully used him correctly. The one thing that I will say in terms of watching the Super Bowl, I love watching the Chiefs put the ball in their playmakers' hands. I do wish the Raiders would try to figure out a way with Ruggs a little bit more. And then for Abram, I think you got to convert him to a linebacker or figure out the way that the Seahawks use Jamal Adams because he's just not good enough to cover in the National Football League. I love his presence on the field. He's a leader. I know the players like him a lot, but in terms of breakout years from these two guys, I can't look at you and say that it's anything more than one Chucky head. Another super chat coming in from Marcus. What do you think? Cut Hankins and Collins, get Williams, draft Wilson, so your defensive tackle depth should be Williams. Okay. I do like Marvin Wilson a lot from Florida State. He's more of a player the more and more I watch, probably actually ends up getting drafted in round 3, so that'd be a place to target him. In terms of Jonathan Hankins, he's a free agent, so you don't really need to cut him. Same with Malik Collins, going to be a free agent. Don't really need to be able to bring him back either. Plus, I wouldn't do it. And then get Leonard Williams. Yes, really need to get some extra depth there. And then Kendall Vickers. If we're relying on Kendall Vickers, I think we're in trouble. All right, let's go to AD. Kill him. I feel like the Raiders getting Rodgers would be like the Lakers getting Braun, and we know how that worked out. What do you think? I think it's a good analogy, man. A lot of people are like, oh, LeBron James, 36 years old, he's washed up. Brought a championship. Same thing that I think happened, honestly, with Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. He has a chance to win a Super Bowl. Why? You see a lot of these other players that start chasing rings. They start saying, I might actually be able to win a ring there. Las Vegas, I can save a lot of money because of taxes. Okay, this is a brand new city. Plus, they see the amount of money that's there. I mean, if you're a player like Rodgers and you can go to the Raiders, I'm sorry, you'd be absolutely stupid not to look into it. But I actually do really like this analogy a lot. All right, got another super chat coming in from Samuel. Patrick Peterson, safety, and Brandon Scherf. Brandon Scherf is one of the offensive guards that I do like a lot. The only way I say you bring in a guy like Scherf is if you don't bring back Gabe Jackson. I'm a believer the Raiders bring back Gabe Jackson. And then Patrick Peterson at safety, he's still good enough to play cornerback. He's going to make more money at cornerback. So for that reason, he's going to want to honestly stay at cornerback. All right, y'all, fill in the blanks here. The Raiders will sign this many safeties in 2021. 0, 1, 2, 3. If you think that they're going to sign more, seriously, go ahead, go down in the comments and let me know. How many safeties will the Raiders sign in 2021? I actually think that it is going to be 2. You don't bring back Eric Harris. You might bring back Daniel Levitt. You maybe bring back Harris if he wants to be a special teams player only. But there's a lot of talented dudes out there. I'm going to type 2, but go down in the comments section and let me know.